The Los Angeles Lakers, with 11 world championships, 5 in this decade, have earned the distinction of being the pro franchise of the 80s. In their 13th straight playoff appearance, the best in the West are on a mission for a third successive title. And tonight, the legend embarks on his final trip to playoff land. It's been 12 years since Portland stunned the world by winning the NBA title. In recent years, the playoffs have meant an early exit for the Trailblazers. But this year, with a new team attitude, Portland has upset on its mind. The road to a championship, though, must go through L.A.
TBS Sports presents NBA Basketball, America's Game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller High Life. Brewed to be smooth, never bitter. Takes time to make, time to enjoy. By Honda, maker of the Prelude SI with 4-wheel steering. Come experience this incredible turn of events at your local Honda dealer. By Wendy's, the best burgers in the business. And by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
From the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California, welcome to Part 2 of tonight's NBA doubleheader on TBS, the opening game of the Western Conference Playoff Series between the Los Angeles Lakers, the defending NBA champions, and the Portland Trailblazers. Last year, Lakers coach Pat Riley guaranteed a title, and the Laker team delivered. This year, no guarantees from the coach, but Magic Johnson does have a challenge to issue to the 15 contenders to upend the Lakers this year.
Well, the message is that, you know, they had outstanding years and they're here. But are they ready? Ready for the challenge? Do they have what it takes to beat the Lakers? And we will see. They all want us, and they all get their chance right now. It's playoff time right here at TBS. Everybody you can watch, you know. It's like everybody wanted us all year long. Now they get their chance. And so let's start the battle, because the war is about to begin.
Good evening, everyone. This is Pete Van Wern welcoming you to Inglewood. Game 1 of the series between the Blazers and the Lakers. And joining me is a man whose team came within a whisker of being the Lakers' first-round opponent this year, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, John McLeod. And John, it's not that desirable a spot to be in, really, drawing the Lakers as an opening round opponent, because they have not lost a first-round game in the last 5 years.
Pete, I can attest to that. I've been in the same position that Rick Adelman has been in many times. It's not a good position to be in. The Lakers are a very, very tough ball club, as we've seen. They run the floor very well. Portland is going to have to stop their fast break. Portland is also going to have to make sure that they run a controlled offense.
As for the Lakers with Magic Johnson, seeming to kick into a higher gear almost at will, especially come playoff time, that's going to be obviously the job for the Portland Trailblazers to try to, if they can, slow down his tempo and the pace that he likes to play at. But what can Portland do in a series like this to have a chance of winning even one game?
Well, the thing they have to do, Pete, is, as I said, they have to use a ball-controlled offense. If you come into the Forum and play a wide-open style, which encourages L.A. to run more, you really find yourself in big trouble. So what Portland has to do, they have to run when the run is there. They have to take good shots and not a lot of outside jump shots. And what we may see tonight, Pete, we may see Portland downshift to a smaller, quicker lineup to combat the speed and quickness of L.A.
Well, we'll see if L.A. can take that first step on its way to a third consecutive NBA title. The action's just around the corner right now. Back to Craig Sager in our Atlanta studios.
Well, thanks, Pete and John. If tonight is a barometer, the opening round of the playoffs could be as thrilling as the finals. The 2 games already completed, both decided late in the 4th quarter. First of all, the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Hawks coach Mike Fratello was irritated with members of the Atlanta media who said the opening round was a mismatch. Bucks coach Del Harris was raging with members of the Milwaukee media who said his team didn't have a chance. The 6-0 record by the Hawks during the regular season, meaningless beginning tonight. And it was a close game throughout. Cliff Levingston had a pass knocked away. Jay Humphrey stepped in, had 2 of his 20 points as Milwaukee was up by 3 in the 3rd quarter. But Dominique Wilkins brought the Hawks back, got the basket and the foul. Wilkins had 28 points on the night, tied the score at 62. Atlanta then in the fourth quarter, a scramble for loose ball. Doc Rivers comes up with a nice pass to John Koncak, who takes advantage of the absence of Jack Sikma, who had fouled out. And then just under a minute to play, the one that breaks Milwaukee's back, a three-pointer by Doc Rivers from the corner, and Milwaukee falls to Atlanta 100-92. Dominique Wilkins with 28, Moses Malone with 23. Golden State and Utah. Utah set a club record for victories on the way to the Midwest Division title, but Golden State not at all impressed. Chris Mullin gets the basket, and with Manute Bol, Ralph Sampson on the bench, John Stockton gets it underneath to a wide-open Mark Eaton, who gets the basket. But Larry Smith playing excellent defense, blocking 4 shots in the first quarter alone. This one against Karl Malone. Golden State building a double-digit lead. Utah fighting back, trying to get back into the game or trying to take the lead, but Chris Mullin so far has been playing excellent ball for Golden State. Bad defense that time by Utah. And the Jazz find themselves down by 3 late in the second quarter. And in the first half of our doubleheader, New York over Philadelphia, 102-96. Coming up in a few moments, the second half of our doubleheader, Portland taking on the 2-time defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers.
Cloud, Pete Van Wieren back with you at the Great Western Forum at Inglewood. The opening game of this best-of-5 series about to get underway between the Portland Trail Blazers, the only team in the playoffs who had a below 500 record. They won 39 and lost 43 during the regular season. And the Lakers had a record of 57-25. For Portland, Jerome Kersey, Caldwell Jones, and Kevin Duckworth start up front. Clyde Drexler, the 4th leading scorer in the league, joined by Terry Porter in the backcourt. The head coach of the Trailblazers, Rick Adelman, who took over 35 games ago. His team won 14 and lost 21 under his leadership. They did not finish strong, losing 4 of their last 5 games this year. For the Lakers, A.C. Green, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, joined by Magic Johnson and Byron Scott in the starting lineup. All 5 starters averaging in double figures for the year. 57-25 was the Lakers' record, and Pat Riley, in his 8th year as head coach, an amazing winning percentage of 73%. And his playoff teams have won 87 games and lost only 38. Our officials tonight, Mike Mathis, Lee Jones, Terry Durham. And we are set to get it going from the Forum in Inglewood. These two teams met 5 times during the regular season, and the Lakers won all 5 games. And you see the playoff matchups between these two clubs. But as we mentioned, the last 5 years, the Lakers have not lost a first-round game. Last year, San Antonio was the victor.
I can tell you they're very tough here in the Forum, and they're also very tough early in the game.
There's a quick 2 for James Worthy. And just like that, the Lakers have gotten on the board.
That's a good example of what they like to do. They like to come out and set the tempo early to score as many points as they can in the first quarter to get you behind and make you think defensively.
Working underneath is Kersey. His first effort wouldn't go. The follow is good. So we're tied at 2 early. Magic trying to get it down to Worthy. Has the ball stripped away over to Porter. Porter trying to get it back to Kersey. And it goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Lakers. Going to be interesting, John, to see if Portland is able to control the tempo. That's just about the only thing Rick Adelman was talking about an hour before game time, how important it is for this team, particularly in the first half, because the losses they've had to the Lakers this year, they've been way down at halftime most of the time.
I think we're going to see a concerted effort here by Portland to keep it close.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the famous skyhook. Makes it 4-2 Lakers. 1 minute has gone by in this opening quarter. There's a steal by Worthy. Worthy on the run. Puts it up with the left hand. Wouldn't go for him, but A.C. Green is there to follow. And it's now a 4-point Laker lead. Drexler's first effort wouldn't go.
That's the shot, Pete, that they don't want to take. If they come down and take that outside jump shot, and exactly this is what happens.
Worthy has 4. The Lakers 8 points. They've opened up a 6-point lead with a minute and a half gone by, and now you'll see Porter walk the ball down the court.
He has to run his offense. This is his job. He's the quarterback. He has to set the tempo for the Portland offense so that it doesn't become a quick shoot offense.
Kersey had the ball tipped away. It's loose out near midcourt. Kersey gets it back over to Duckworth. Duckworth with 2 seconds on the shot clock hits one.
Those are the kind of baskets that Portland will need. Shots that go down to the buzzer.
Byron Scott from 3-point land. It's a 7-point Laker lead. 9:57 to go first quarter. Drexler puts another one up. Wouldn't go for him. Rebound Scott. Here come the Lakers on the run again. Off to Magic. Back to Scott.
What you're seeing here, Pete, is you're seeing the versatility of a Magic Johnson, who's a point guard, who also has the ability to go into the low post and play like a center. Portland has a 22nd timeout.
All 5 Lakers have scored. A 22nd timeout called here with 9:30 remaining. 13-4. Lakers have opened up a 9-point lead. This is just what Rick Adelman didn't want.
Well, he doesn't want to have LA get out, Pete, and get a big lead on them. And the way to counter that is by being under control. Portland's thrown a couple passes where, LA is always in the passing lane, so they've intercepted a couple, and we saw the last time down the floor where Magic posted up, and we'll probably see more of that. And that's another facet of Magic Johnson's game. Not only his driving ability and the fact that he runs the floor very well for the team, but he also plays inside with his back to the basket, and he's a tremendous passer there. We have James Worthy.
Well, we won't be able to look at that replay that we were going to show you right now because action has resumed. Porter bringing the ball down against Scott. Drexler down low to Duckworth, working against Kareem. His baseline shot wouldn't go. Magic Johnson with a rebound. Quickly down the other way. Magic pushing it, losing the ball to Drexler. And here comes a 3-on-1 Portland break. Off it comes to Duckworth, and that shot wouldn't fall for him. Ball is loose. AC Green pulls it away over to Kareem. And Kareem gets it across the timeline to Scott. Scott driving off the glass. No good. Rebound pulled away by Kersey.
You've had 2 situations here, Pete, where Portland has had open shots and they failed to convert on both of those open shots, and they need to make these short 6 to 8 footers.
Drexler has not been able to get his shot to fall. Magic in the front court. Over to Scott. Byron Scott over to AC Green, out of bounds off Portland.
You know, Portland has really done some things defensively very, very well here. They just haven't been able to stop the conversion of the fast break.
It'll be inbounded by Worthy into Magic Johnson. Worthy makes his move into the lane. The shot won't fall for him. Rebound pulled away by Kersey, and our first whistle. A foul will be called on James Worthy.
I think both teams, Pete, might be a little bit tight. Both teams have had good close shots, and both teams have also missed these shots.
Well, they called that foul against Portland on Caldwell Jones. The way Worthy reacted looked like he was the one that was getting the whistle. Magic over to Green, into Kareem. Kareem had the goggles bumped loose. Puts the sky hook up anyway. It comes up short. The rebound comes off to Portland. Kersey on the run. Trying to hit Drexler underneath, and does. First 2 points of the game for Clyde Drexler, and you got a good look at his athletic ability there.
I'll tell you, Portland is a tremendous running team, and many people aren't aware of that. But when you talk about the best running teams in the NBA, you have to think of the Portland Trailblazers. We just saw a good example of that. Here's another.
Down to Drexler again for 2 more.
And they can score, and they score quickly. And this is what concerns Pat Riley about playing Portland, is the fact that they score in bunches, and they are very powerful offensively.
And Drexler has hurt the Lakers in the games that they've played this year, even though the Lakers have won them all. Drexler's had some big scoring nights against them. Kareem into the paint. Basket good. He drew the foul.
Okay, here's an alley-oop pass that Jerome Kersey makes to Clyde Drexler. It's a good example of athletic ability. he makes it look easy, but it's a supremely talented person that has the ability to do that. You know, Pete, we talked about Pat Riley being concerned about Drexler. He's also very concerned about Jerome Kersey and about Duckworth and about Terry Porter.
Rick Adelman telling us before the game that those four all have to have a good game for the Blazers to have a chance in this series to win even one game. 16-8, an 8-point Laker lead. Porter working against Scott. Puts it up from the top of the circle. Wouldn't go for him. Worthy pulls away the rebound. Lakers on the run. Magic keeps it. Basket good. He'll go to the line. And Magic getting up slowly down there.
That's the thing Magic does, Pete. He continually tests your offense, and here he comes down the floor now. You see AC Green going to the wing, but Magic continually pushes the ball at the defense and makes a defense retreat.
Caldwell Jones called for his second foul in this play, so Magic will have a chance to make it a three-point play. Right now a timeout with 6:57 remaining in the quarter, and the Lakers up by 10. Lakers have opened up a 10-point lead, and NBA playoff action continues tomorrow night on the Superstation. Another doubleheader, first-round action, the Celtics and the Pistons, followed by Denver playing at Phoenix. And that'll all be followed by Fred Hickman and his Inside the NBA program. Arsenio Hall among the many celebrities, and believe me, we'll be showing you a few tonight. This is the place to be when the Lakers are in the playoffs.
You know, Pete, this is the time of the year to be playing in the NBA. The NBA season spans all. It goes through fall, winter, spring, and summer, and you want to be playing in the spring, and certainly you want to be playing in June. The Lakers have played in many, many Junes.
And Magic Johnson trying to make it a three-point play. His first trip to the line. The league's leading free throw shooter this year. He hit 91% of his attempts from the line on the season. It's an 11-point Laker lead now. Drexler out to Porter. Porter finds Kersey all alone. Kersey will put up the jumper. Won't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Magic Johnson. Well, he's everywhere, isn't he?
He is. He is a catalyst of this ball club.
Comes back out to Magic. He'll put up one from three-point land. That one wouldn't go. Worthy kept the rebound alive, then pulled it away. Portland trying for the steal. Instead, they'll be called for a foul.
Steve Johnson came in the game for Caldwell Jones. I think what we'll see, Pete, and they just tried it, except Kersey shot the ball, is an emphasis on taking the ball inside to Steve Johnson.
Scott looks inside. Back out to Johnson. Magic looking into Kareem. Kareem makes his move toward the basket. Couldn't get it to go. Duckworth pulls away the rebound. Off to Porter. Blazers on the run. There's Drexler again for two more. Clyde Drexler with 6 in this first quarter, and it's a 9-point Laker lead.
This is where Pat Riley's concerned about. The Portland Trail Blazers score about 90% on the fast break, and that's a tremendous efficiency, and Pat's very concerned about that.
Jump ball called by Mike Mathis.
You know, Rick Adelman took his ball club prior to the beginning of the playoffs to San Diego for a couple of days to give them a chance to get some concentrated work, and it's obvious that we've seen the results here. A very good idea on Rick's part.
Porter brings it down for the Blazers, who trail by 9 with 5:40 remaining first quarter. Drexler working against Worthy. Duckworth left unguarded for a moment, got the shot away, but it wouldn't go for him. Another Laker rebound. Worthy off to Scott. Porter, the only man back for the Blazers. AC Green goes right around him. Green has 4, and the Lakers have that lead back up to 11.
Well, that was a situation, Pete. Portland only had one man back, and that's going to be a tough cover for Portland if they can't get more than one person back to defend against the break.
Kersey guarded by Magic. Over to Johnson. And an illegal defense will be called here against the Lakers.
Okay, now we're going to see it here. Duckworth shoots a shot, but before the other 3 Portland people go to the board, and nobody is back except the guard, and it's a very, very difficult situation.
Johnson's shot wouldn't go. Rebound tipped way out to Porter. Back into Johnson off the glass. Basket's good, and he'll go to the line. Steve Johnson's first 2 points. He has been bothered all year by tendonitis in both knees and both ankles.
he's had some health problems, you know, but Steve Johnson and Kevin Duckworth are two powerful inside players, and they really set up the Portland running game. And if Portland shoots the ball well outside, in addition to running and posting up, they are going to cause a lot of problems for the Lakers.
Johnson converting the three-point play. 21-13, an 8-point lead. With 4:53 left to go in the first quarter. Worthy's turnaround jumper goes. He has 6. He's been on fire down the stretch for the Lakers.
He's a powerful offensive player with his back to the basket, as good as anybody in the NBA.
Underneath, Kersey forcing a shot, wouldn't go. Worthy has his 4th rebound. Gets it off to Magic. Magic over to Byron Scott. His baseline jumper is good. He now has 5 points. And it's a 12-point lead. Biggest lead of the game thus far for L.A.
You know, I'm really impressed, Pete, with what L.A. does. They continually apply pressure to your offense, and as soon as there is a change of possessions, they continually put pressure on you with their offense. So it's pressure on both sides of the 10-second line.
And a foul called against the Portland Trailblazers. Jerome Kersey committing his first. Team foul number 5, so you're in the penalty situation. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will go to the line. This man owns playoff records for points scored, games played, minutes played, field goals, field goal attempts, blocked shots.
He's a great example for young players. If you're looking for a model as a young player, this is a good example. He's worked extremely hard on his game. He's continued to be competitive, but he's kept himself in great shape through the summer, and that's what a good athlete does. He takes care of himself. He prepares himself.
He just missed 2 free throws, but it's still a 12-point Laker lead. Kersey puts it up over Magic. Nobody really with a hot hand right now for Portland. The ball bobbled out of bounds by Duckworth. The Lakers get it back.
Portland will need to make some of those outside shots. They can't rely strictly on the break.
Kersey recovering the ball after it went through Kareem's hands. Gives it off to Porter. Here's Drexler working against Worthy. Mike Mathis blows the whistle, and Worthy is not going to be very pleased about that call. He's called for his first. Kareem sitting down now. Michael Thompson checking into the Laker lineup. Since Michael Thompson has been a Laker the last 2 years, they, of course, have not lost a playoff series. He's done nothing but go to the playoffs with the Lakers and win championships.
Well, you know, the Lakers have taken Michael Thompson, brought him into their system, and he has developed a style of play very similar to that of all the other L.A. Lakers. And as a result, Pete has been very instrumental in helping them, as you say, with the playoffs.
James Worthy called for his 2nd foul, and Kersey will be at the line. Kersey, 69% free throw shooter on the year. It's one thing the Portland team, John, we were talking about earlier today, don't do that well. They shoot fouls.
They are not a good free throw shooting team, 74%. And I think that's reflected in their outside jump shooting.
You saw Michael Cooper check into the game with a bandage on his forehead. You'll never believe how that injury occurred.
Well, you know,
at the end of the Laker practice today, Cooper, trying to avoid the media, ran out a back exit, tripped over some television cable, and cut his forehead. 21 stitches were needed to close the gash. Magic with his team up by 10. Rifles it over to A.C. Green. Green's shot a little strong. Comes off the floor to Porter. 3:15 remaining first quarter. Portland down by 10. Porter from the top of the circle.
That's what they need. They need Jerome Kersey, Porter to start making these outside jump shots.
Gary Porter's first 2 points of the night. Lakers by 8. Magic backing in against Porter. Tried to get it into A.C. Green. Stolen by Drexler. A 2-on-1 break for the Blazers, and Drexler blew it. Rebound pulled away by Michael Cooper. That could have gotten Portland back to within 6. Michael Thompson's fall-away jumper over Duckworth is short. Into the hands of Steve Johnson, off to Porter.
Well, Pete, they've missed 3 short shots, and if you give them those 6 points, it's 25-23. And now they're shooting a quick outside jump shot again, which is what...
Kevin Duckworth called for his 2nd personal. And a timeout called here by the Blazers with 2:23 to go in the first quarter. Lakers by 8. Rivalry between Portland and the Lakers. Last time they met back in 1985. And it was pretty much the same story as what the regular season was like this year. Lakers with that patented Laker fast break. Going on to win this game big, and they wound up winning the best-of-7 series 4-1 over the Blazers.
Being the running game, and you must get back, and if you don't get back, what happens is they have a lot of 3-on-2, 4-on-2 situations, and it's makes it very, very difficult to play them effectively.
AC Green, a 79% free throw shooter during the regular season. At the line, he has improved every number on his statistics line every year that he's been in the league.
Every year, Pete, he's gotten better. He's much better defensively. His outside shot has gotten better. His free throw shooting has gotten better. Rebounding is better. He's very aggressive defensively. And another good example of what happens when you work in the offseason to improve your game.
He now has 6 points. The Lakers lead once again, a 10-point lead. Danny Young is checked in to handle the ball for the Blazers over to Porter.
And what you have now, Pete, you have a very small lineup on the floor. Steve Johnson is the center, and Drexler and Kersey are the forwards.
And Orlando Woolridge, who just checked in, pulled away another Laker rebound. They have been pulling off just about every rebound in the ball game. Portland now only 6 of 24 from the field. That's 25%. Cooper puts a great pointer up and in.
Well, I can see the knock on the head didn't bother Mike Cooper at all.
Looks a little different, but that shot sure doesn't, does it?
That the 21 stitches didn't bother his shooting touch at all.
A 13-point Laker lead with a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. Porter open along the baseline, gets 2 more. He has 4.
Well, Portland has changed their offensive approach here. They're using smaller people. They don't have a low post man now. They've opened the floor, and they're using a motion game offense, which could create problems for L.A.
Woolridge back outside to Scott. Scott puts it up from left of the circle and drills it. He now has 7 points. 32-19, Lakers by 13. Just over a minute to go in the opening quarter. Clyde Drexler couldn't get that one to fall. Cooper kept it alive a couple of times, but it went out of bounds off him. Ball still belongs to the Blazers. On our Wendy's NBA scoreboard, Atlanta winning their first game. They had a little difficulty, though. Had to really battle hard to beat Milwaukee. Game 2 in that series you'll see on Saturday night here in the Superstation. 3-point effort by Porter wouldn't go. Rebound off to Drexler, and Drexler has an easy 2. 8 points now for Clyde Drexler.
So far, Pete, they've had pretty good results with a smaller lineup.
Green over to Cooper. Underneath to Orlando Woolridge for his first 2 of the night. The Laker lead back up to 13 points.
Well, it was a great backdoor play. A great pass from Cooper to Woolridge. They caught Portland's defense up on the high side.
Kersey looks inside, sends it back out to Drexler. Drexler puts it up over Woolridge. Partially deflected by Woolridge. And it comes right back to the Lakers. They'll play for a final shot here.
2 of the last 3 times down the floor, Portland has quick shot the ball with outside jump shots, and that's the thing that they need to be aware of.
You see the time remaining. About a half-second difference in the shot clock. Green puts it up. And that's the end of quarter number 1. The Lakers are doing it. 34-21 over the Blazers after 1.
Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by Honda, maker of the Accord 4-door sedan. Come experience the Accord at your local Honda dealer. And by Reebok basketball shoes. When the new legends are made, they'll be wearing Reebok.
After 1 quarter, Lakers leading at 34-21. And now let's take a look at the Minute Maid Orange soft drink stats for quarter number 1. And you will see just why the Lakers have got that big lead. Look at the difference in shooting percentage, John.
Well, you know, Pete, Portland needs to shoot the ball better than 31% in order to be competitive here. They've given up 34 points. That's a 68-point half, 145 points. That's too many for the entire game, and that's what Rick Adelman was concerned about. Portland had 3 wide-open layups that they missed, and they had some good jump shot opportunities that they missed, but they did shoot the ball quickly a couple times. it's hard to resist those open jump shots. But nevertheless, that's what feeds the Laker fast break. And when you have a guy like Magic Johnson who can drive the ball and push it to open people, as I've said before, it just makes your ability to get back in the game that much tougher.
Ready to start the second quarter now. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar checking back in. He's out there with Michael Cooper, Michael Thompson, Orlando Woolridge, and Magic Johnson. We talked about the Blazers' small lineup. Look at the size of that lineup on the court now for the Lakers.
Well, they have a big lineup now. They're changing the pace, and they're running some different sets. You get Steve Johnson driving the ball hard to the basket. He does that very well. He's great at drawing fouls and getting other big people in foul trouble.
So the first whistle of quarter number 2, called against Michael Thompson, his first. And at the line, Steve Johnson, who had 3 points in the first quarter, only shot free throws at a 53% clip this year.
He's one of the inside people that Pat Riley is very concerned about. He's concerned about Steve Johnson inside. He's concerned about Kevin Duckworth inside. Both of those players merit defensive attention.
The Blazers, in 3 of their 5 losses this year, were down to the Lakers at halftime. Once by 16, once by 21, once by 22, and there's just no way to come back against a team like Los Angeles when you're down by that much at the half. So Portland making a concerted effort here to get back in this one. Kareem's little jump hook wouldn't go. Rebound pulled away by Johnson. Off to Danny Young. Young fires from right of the circle and hits his first 2 of the night.
Well, he's a good shooter. L.A. will not be able to leave him open. Also, the same applies to Richard Anderson, who's a tremendous three-point shooter playing forward right now.
Over to Cooper. Cooper to Woolridge. Woolridge back outside to Cooper to Magic. Magic gets around Young, hooks it over to Woolridge. Woolridge operating in that corner. And we've got a whistle. Clyde Drexler called for another foul, his second. First team foul against the Blazers in this quarter. Magic guarded by Drexler. Shot was a little strong, but there's Michael Thompson with a follow.
Those are the shots, Pete, that really hurt your defense. Portland could be running a fast break off that miss. Michael Thompson takes it in and scores.
And just blocked the shot down on the other end. Lakers up by 11, get it back to 13 on this trip. Magic trying to dish it off to Kareem, got it back to Michael Thompson.
Well, we just saw an example of how effective and how quick-handed Magic Johnson is. 4-on-2 fast break. He makes a pass, recovers the pass, pitches it back to Michael Thompson.
Lakers have that lead built back up to 13 with 10:20 remaining in the half. Drexler trying to get it out to Duckworth. Johnson recovers out near midcourt. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock now. Down to 2 seconds left. Young will try to beat the clock with a jump shot. Wouldn't go for him. Rebound finally pulled away by Steve Johnson. Now Duckworth inside. Boy, the Blazers have missed a lot of shots down there, John. Drexler will try another one. He hits. Drexler, the first man to go into double figures tonight. He has 10.
It's not that they haven't had good shots. They have had good shots. It's just that they've missed a lot of those.
And Magic answering with 2 more. He has 7. 40-27. Lakers lead it by 13. Drexler trying to dribble past the pick set by Johnson. And Pat Riley not at all pleased with that whistle.
Okay, we have a play coming up by Magic Johnson. It's an indication of his ability to recover. He makes the pass to Kareem. It's deflected. He catches the ball back and pitches it quickly back to Michael Thompson, breaking to the basket. A lot of players wouldn't pick up that pass, but they play with Magic so much that they expect these great recoveries and these great passes.
It's a 10-point lead now, 40-30. Drexler now has 13. Kareem. With Duckworth leaning on him, and it will be called against the Blazers.
Well, Pat has made a concerted effort, Pat Riley, Pete, to get the ball inside the Kareem and give him an opportunity to get going. Certainly, he still is the focus of the defense.
Sam Bowie checking in. He's been having all sorts of injury problems again. His right ankle this time caused him to miss 15 of the last 16 regular season Blazer games. But Rick Adelman said he wanted to take a look at him in the first half to see what he could get out of him in this series.
Well, they chanced Woolridge's outside jump shot. They allowed him to shoot the open shot and got by with it.
Down it comes to Drexler inside. Oh, what a move by Clyde Drexler. He has 15, and it's an 8-point game now. Magic going coast to coast. He'll go to the line.
And that's here's a great acrobatic play coming up by Drexler. He had the shot taken away from him. He adjusted the shot, still had the ability to go ahead and make a soft inside shot. And what happens, Pete, is just what happened. Drexler made a beautiful shot. 3 seconds later, LA shooting a free throw on the other end, and that's why they are the champions and have been the champions. And they have a philosophy of pushing the ball at the defense and making the defense crack.
Magic now with 9 points. That was the first foul called against Danny Young. Each team now with 2 team fouls. 10-point Laker lead. 8.5 minutes to go in the half. A 3-point effort by Anderson wouldn't go. Kareem pulls it away, trying to get it over to Cooper, and Cooper with a little acrobatic move keeps it in the Lakers' possession. And this whistle goes against the Lakers.
Actually, Pete, as poor as Portland has shot the ball, to only be down 10 points is not bad. If they ever start clicking offensively and settle down here, I think they'll find themselves right back in this ball game.
Duckworth called for his 3rd personal. Cooper.
Here's another opportunity for Kareem to go against Duckworth. You see this one-on-one coverage. It's a great block.
Bowie with a block. Off it comes to Porter. Porter has Magic on him. He backs up. Sends it underneath to Bowie, who puts it in.
What we saw there, Pete, we saw a tremendous passing ability on the part of Terry Porter. Bowie broke down the backside. Porter made a terrific pass to him. It's a great block by Bowie on the other end also.
And Worthy now in a little trouble with 3 fouls. Sam Bowie will try to complete the 3-point play. Bowie just seems to be plagued by injury problems.
You know, he was hurt at the University of Kentucky, Pete, as a collegiate, and professionally since he's been playing, he's had health problems. But he's if he ever can regain his health, he's a tremendous basketball player. And like the Portland coaches said, he's just now going through training camp.
42-32, Lakers by 10. 7:45 remaining, first half. Magic operating against Porter, over to Scott. Cooper down to Kareem. Kareem over Bowie. 7 points for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who averaged 10 points a game in his 20th NBA season. Now Bowie puts one up. He's a good outside shooter too, John.
He's a good outside shooter. He's a tremendous passer. He can block shots, and when he's healthy and in good shape, he can run the floor. So,
and speaking of outside shooting, how about that one?
Well, we just saw another facet of Magic Johnson's game. The guy drives you absolutely bananas trying to figure a way to stop him. He's knifing through the defense. He shoots ball away shots. This year, Pete, he shot the ball outside at 3-point range better than he ever has.
Johnson completing the 3-point play. He's perfect from the line. Has 12 points in the game. 47-34. Lakers have built that lead back to 13. Porter going through all sorts of yellow uniforms. And we'll get another foul called. This one against Michael Thompson, his 2nd. Lakers, of course, a much more experienced team in these playoffs than a lot of these young Portland players. How much does experience mean, John, in playoffs?
Oh, Pete, it means a great deal. I think we've seen it here early in the first quarter and a half here. LA seems to be certainly focused, and you can see here the number of years of experience that the Lakers have, and certainly the Blazers are not in that position at all. These guys have been through the playoff wars, and there's a certain preparation and a certain focus and a certain commitment that needs to take place here.
Byron Scott left unprotected for the open jumper. Couldn't get it to fall, though. Bowie pulls away the rebound off to Anderson. 47-36. An 11-point Laker lead. Just under 7 minutes to go. It comes across court to Kersey. Kersey operating along the baseline. Got that one to drop. Kersey has 6.
I'm impressed with what Portland has done. They've changed lineups, big and small. They've changed their guards. They've changed their defenses. They trapped the last 2 times. And with Bowie back inside, it's a good idea. And they're creating problems right now for the Lakers with the trapping defense.
Scott tries one from three-point land. Bowie clears for the Blazers. Sam Bowie has helped the rebounding.
Well, he certainly has. Duckworth is in foul trouble.
Bowie puts one up from three-point land and hits it. He hit 5 out of 7 of those during the regular season.
Well, it's a big decision for Pat Riley now, and also Kareem. How are we going to handle this guy? Are we going to come out on the floor and cover him, or are we going to continue to line to shoot the three-point shot?
Well, what the Lakers are going to do right now is call a timeout. Portland has pulled to within 6.
We mentioned that Golden State had taken a double-digit lead over Utah. The Jazz coming back. John Stockton misses the shot, but Mark Eaton is there for the tip-in. And it was suddenly a 2-point game. But the story in this game has been Chris Mullin. He's red hot. 35 points already for Chris Mullin. He's still got another quarter to go. Golden State up by 5. Back to Pete and John.
Okay, thank you, Craig. You see our score, Lakers over Portland 47-41, and Sam Bowie, who hasn't played hardly at all the last month of the season because of an ankle problem, has kind of brought the Blazers back to life, John.
Well, he's made a couple of three-point shots. You know, Pete, he's a 71% shooter from three-point range during the regular season, 5 out of 7. And I think the center has a new name in the NBA.
Yeah, we've seen some big men put those three-pointers down all season. Manute Bol, Bill Laimbeer has hit a few of those. Kareem even tries one every now and then, but he'll wait till the lead is safe. Right now it's a 6-point lead. Lakers have the ball, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And an offensive foul called against the Lakers.
You know, Pete, Portland is right back in this ballgame. As I said, they changed their defenses. They've changed their lineup. They've gotten control of things now. The Lakers had a 34-point quarter, and they've only scored 13 points in the first 7 minutes. So defensively, Portland's done a very good job.
Kersey shot a little strong. Kareem, who have just called for his second personal, pulls it away. Portland now 7 out of 12. They're shooting the ball much better in this second quarter.
You can see just how potent Portland is with the ability that they have. If they could just have Jerome Kersey or Danny Young or Porter, Bowie is making his outside shot to complement their running game. You can see how they can score points in a hurry.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, John McLeod and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. And there's a rare miss from the free throw line for Magic Johnson, who hit 91% of his attempts over the course of the long NBA regular season. 13 points now for Magic, a 7-point Laker lead. You see the time left in the first half. The tempo much more in Portland's favor right now.
Much more in Portland's favor. They spread the floor out. Here's a good example. Here's another good outside shooter. So they have Young, they have Porter, and Richard Anderson on the floor with Kersey. So they changed the lineup again. It's another look that they're throwing at LA, which I think shows great preparation on Rick Adelman's part.
AC Green going up for the shot. The whistle from Lee Jones, and the foul will be called on Sam Bowie. His first. And AC Green will go to the line for the Lakers. He hit 2 out of 2 from the line in the first quarter. Clyde Drexler, who leads the Portland scorers with 15, checks back in.
You know, Pete, when Sam Bowie came into the ballgame, the Blazers were down considerably. Since he's been in, he has taken the drives away from the middle. Not that he's blocked so many shots, but he's affected the type of shots that LA is getting inside. And that's what a big man does, the ability to block a shot or the threat of the block shot.
Green trying for his 8th point. And that one wouldn't go far, but there's Magic Johnson again. 15 points for Johnson. And the Lakers lead back up to 8, 51-43 with 5 minutes remaining in the half. Kersey. Over to Drexler. Woolridge guarding Drexler now. Inside it goes to Bowie. Puts it up over Kareem. That shot wouldn't go, but the rebound pulled away by Drexler. Off the glass. Nope. Rebound comes loose out to Porter. Blazers get another chance. Nice pass, Drexler to Kersey, and Jerome Kersey has his 8th point.
Portland was the second best offensive rebounding team in the league this year. You can see why in that little series.
A 6-point lead now for the Lakers over the Blazers. One of this best-of-5 series, AC Green operates along the baseline over Kersey. He has 9. Bowie working against Kareem. Seems to be part of the game plan for Portland to try to tire out Kareem a little bit, John.
Well, they're doing that. That was not a good shot by Sam Bowie. I think Sam Bowie is tired. He's really extended himself.
And the Lakers miss a couple. Here comes Porter the other way. Passing to Drexler. Basket is good, and he drew the foul. Drexler now has 17, and it's a 6-point Laker lead again. Magic Johnson called for his first.
Well, here's another break situation. You see Terry Porter bring the ball up the floor, and Bowie's out running again, and he elects to go to Drexler. But this is another example of Portland's ability to run the floor. And I think what we've seen, Pete, we've seen a change of quarters here. Although LA still has the lead, Portland has made tremendous inroads and got control of this game to a degree.
LA led it by 13 at the end of the first quarter. Portland now 6 points away with 3.5 minutes to go in the half. Michael Thompson had the ball tipped away by Kersey. Loose ball picked up by Bowie off to Porter. Terry Porter over to Drexler. Drexler works against Scott, drives the lane, and an offensive foul is going to be called. That is 3 now on Clyde Drexler. He has 3. Duckworth has 3 for Portland. James Worthy has 3 for the Lakers.
Clyde's going to have to come out of the ball game here.
Magic Johnson will bring the ball down. They're going to leave him in. He'll play with 3 fouls. Magic backing in against Porter. Look at that move by Magic Johnson. He has 17 points in the game. The Lakers have built the lead back up to 8.
You know, a lot has been said about LA's fast break, but from a half-court standpoint, their half-court offense ranks up with anybody in the league.
AC Green called for his first personal. Portland with 2:43 remaining, and the Lakers up by 8. There's one reason it must seem very strange to John McLeod to be sitting over on this side of the court tonight is because you are the second-ranking coach among active coaches in playoff victories, and it must really seem strange to be going into a first playoff round this season and not have a team in the playoffs.
It does, Pete. You know, as a professional coach, you want to be playing basketball in the springtime right now. You do not want to be at home watching other teams play. I'd prefer to be here with about 15 other friends of mine, but this is a good place to be as any. But it's a situation, Pete. The springtime is a time for NBA playoffs, and it's a great time of the year for professional basketball.
Terry Porter at the line. He has 6 points in the game. Coming up at halftime, our Prudential halftime report. Craig Sager in our Atlanta studios with all the news from this opening night of playoff action. A 6-point lead for the Lakers with 2:43 remaining in this first half. Magic works against Porter to Green. Back to Magic over to Scott. Orlando Woolridge. Down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Scott just beats the clock. The shot won't go for him, though. Rebound rolling loose along the floor, and we're going to get a jump ball.
You know, Caldwell Jones is another amazing athlete. He's 40 years old. He just made a tremendous recovery here. Woolridge and Caldwell Jones both going for the ball, but Caldwell Jones shows he's always been a great defender, a shot blocker, great reactions to the ball.
Caldwell Jones now in his 16th year as a professional player. A couple of those in the old ABA. Magic from three-point land. Little strong to the right. Thompson had it, lost it. Woolridge got it back out of bounds. It still belongs to the Lakers.
Well, Orlando Woolridge is a tremendous athlete, obviously, and he's had some problems adjusting to the Lakers style of play. But I like what I'm seeing tonight. You know, Orlando Woolridge is a driver and a very powerful offensive player. But here's a good example right here.
There it is. 2 points for Orlando. He has 4 in the game. Lead back up to 8 for the Lakers.
And Woolridge poses just another problem for you from a defensive standpoint when you prepare against the Lakers.
Jones has Magic Johnson all over him. Gets rid of it to Porter, now to Drexler. Looking down low at Bowie. Bowie wanted the ball but couldn't control it. Here come the Lakers on the run. Scott from three-point land. He has 10. And the Lakers lead back up to 11 points with 1:20 to go in the first half. Terry Porter tries one. Won't go for him. Rebound comes off the court. Drexler lost it. Ball still rolling loose. We got a loose ball foul. Called against Jerome Kersey, his second.
Now here's a play coming up by Orlando Woolridge here. He does drive the ball very well. Magic penetrates, pulls the defense, kicks the ball to Woolridge. He puts it on the floor, takes the ball to the basket. He's very, very good at that part of his game.
Woolridge not used to being in the playoffs. 7 years he's been in the league prior to this year, and only twice did he go to the playoffs with the Chicago Bulls a couple of years.
You know, Pete, this is a great opportunity for Woolridge. He's now with the ball club that's playoff rich in experience. They know how to win. They want to win, and it's a great opportunity for him. And he has made his contributions to his team throughout the year.
Byron Scott, who rarely misses from the line, he hit 86% of those during the regular season, has gotten that Laker lead back up to 13. Portland had closed to within 6. Now the Lakers have got it back up to 13. That's the biggest lead they've had in the game. Drexler going along the baseline, drew the foul, and will go to the line. Woolridge called for his first. So Drexler was 1 for 2 from the free throw line, has 15 points in the ball game. 4th leading scorer in the league this year with a 27-point average. Misses another one. And he's a good free throw shooter.
He is a good free throw shooter, and free throws make a difference, Pete, as to whether you're going to sustain your rally or not sustain your rally. And when you miss free throws, it certainly is a detriment to your offensive game.
Magic works against Porter. See the time remaining in this first half. Underneath to Michael Thompson, off the glass for 2.
Well, they've been using that play, Pete, the two-man game between Michael Thompson and Magic Johnson. It's a very difficult play to stop because Thompson releases, and you saw Magic find Michael Thompson there for an easy 2.
Porter tries to cut into that 14-point lead. It wouldn't go. The Lakers, who have their biggest lead of the night, could make it even bigger this trip. There's a 5-shot difference on the shot clock. 14 seconds now on the shot clock. Magic getting it to Michael Thompson, but he stepped out of bounds with it. So Portland will have a chance to score the final points in the first half.
Well, they have 10 seconds, an opportunity, ample time to get a good shot.
In it comes to Drexler. You see the time remaining in the half. Kersey along the baseline.
I'll tell you, it was a great drive by Drexler, a great kickoff to Kersey. Kersey made it.
Wanted a jump ball here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looked like a real good block.
Instead, they call Woolridge for the foul. But Kersey misses the free throw. That's 5 misses from the free throw line for the Blazers, 11 of 16. They'll call a 20-second time with 3 seconds remaining and 1 shot remaining from the free throw line for Jerome Kersey. And it was your score.
It was a great drive by Kersey, a great recovery by Woolridge. It looked like an awfully good block. And Kersey's the kind of guy that is not an easy guy to challenge when he takes the ball to the hole.
Don't forget, at halftime, we'll go back to our Atlanta studios, and Craig Sager will update you on this first night of action in the NBA playoffs. And another doubleheader here on TBS tomorrow night. Well, John, in this first half, things going about as you would expect in a meeting of two teams that have had such different records this year. This Portland team struggling particularly late in the year. Even though they were in a lot of their ball games, they really didn't get blown out too many times. The Lakers seem to kick it into a higher gear about the last couple of weeks.
Well, they have that ability, the Lakers do. And the Blazers had a lot of tough games, Pete, down the wire. We were battling them for that last playoff spot.
Caldwell Jones gets in the way of it. Magic Johnson flips one over his head. If that shot had gone in, the Blazers might have just said, we give up. But it's a 13-point Laker lead at halftime, 64-51 in game one of this best-of-5 series. And that's the man that has led them to the 13-point lead.
Report is brought to you by the companies of the Prudential, meeting your needs in investments, insurance, and real estate. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Welcome back to the world headquarters of Turner Broadcasting. A year ago, the Utah Jazz took the Los Angeles Lakers to the edge before falling in the 7th game of their series. Revenge has been on their mind ever since. But they better not look too far ahead, because that Midwest Division banner that they hung tonight does not mean a thing if they don't get past the opening round. Things starting slowly for Utah. Watch Chris Smullen. He gets the ball very slowly, not a lot of speed, just dribbles the baseline. Nobody cuts him off. Goes past 3 Jazz defenders, gets the basket. 13-point lead first quarter for Utah. Thurl Bailey comes off the bench. The 6th man for Utah scores the last 10 points of the quarter, cutting the lead down to 7. And then just before the half, Utah gets into it. John Stockton, the three-pointer. Golden State takes the ball to bounds, but Bill Sawyer says, hey, you stepped over the line, put a second back on the clock, give the ball to Utah. And it proves to be a costly mistake as Darrell Griffith gets the ball and hits the jumper. And it was suddenly down to a 2-point halftime deficit. But now Golden State is back on top, 108-99. Greg Papa and Jim Barnett are calling the game for the Golden State Warriors. Let's go live to that game right now to pick it up late in the fourth quarter.
Greg Papa and Jim Barnett in the Salt Palace, where the Warriors are possibly on their way to a tremendous Game 1 upset here. A foul going to be called on Terry Teagle, gives Thurl Bailey a couple of free throws.
And the problem right now with 3 minutes and 49 seconds to go, you got an 11-point lead. Bailey on the line with 2. The clock is being stopped much too often with the fouls. If you're the Warriors, you do not want to foul because you want that clock to keep moving. And the Warriors are going to keep the clock moving in the open court because they take the quick shots.
Well, Jim, the Jazz have scored all of their points in the fourth quarter except for 1 bucket from the free throw line. Bailey is keeping him in the game. He has 24. Stockton 23. Karl Malone only 16 points. He is 4 of 11 from the floor, Karl Malone. Here's a Rod Higgins three-pointer. And the Jazz still have plenty of time to come back. And Hanson's jumper makes it a 7-point game, and Don Nelson quickly stops play. Still a long way to go. 3:27 left in Game 1.
Well, Rod Higgins probably with an ill-advised three-point attempt right there. As Utah's back in the game, we'll keep a very close tab on that game. In the meantime, we'll be back with highlights from the East when the Prudential Halftime Report continues. They're still in a timeout in Utah, where in a matter of a minute, Utah has cut a 13-point deficit down to 7. Utah now trailing 110-103. An 8-point deficit is not a true indicator of how well Milwaukee played in tonight's opening game against Atlanta. But give the Hawks credit for responding to the challenge. This was a close game throughout. After an turnover right here, Jay Humphries gets 2 of his 20 points. Milwaukee was up by 3. This is in the third quarter. But Dominique Wilkins, with a great move to the basket, gets the basket and the foul, ties the score at 62. Dominique had 28 points on the night. Good hustling right here. Reggie Theus keeps the ball alive. And then Doc Rivers wisely drives down. Nice easy pass to John Koncak, who jams it through. Koncak 13 points, 11 rebounds. A big night for Doc Rivers, 15 points, 10 assists. And Rivers had this three-pointer that turned the game basically in Atlanta's favor at the end. No way Milwaukee could make up that deficit. And the Hawks take the opening game of the series 100-92. Philadelphia, New York. Knicks fans up for this game, waiting to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Watch the ball bounce in this one. Looks like a hockey game maybe in the Garden instead of a basketball game. Underneath it goes to Patrick Ewing, who slams it through. Ewing had 26 points, 8 rebounds, but Gerald Wilkins was the real story. Gerald had 34 points. Mo Cheeks tried to stop him here, was not able to. Cheeks, however, did have a good night for Philadelphia. He had 19 points and 16 assists, tied the game at 89. But time running out on the shot clock. Mark Jackson from long range hits the three-pointer, and the Knicks go on to win Game 1, 102-96. And we'll hear from the younger Wilkins, Dominique's brother Gerald, in just a few moments. For 62 points, Dominique led the Atlanta Hawks to 28, only to be upstaged by his younger brother Gerald, who led the Knicks with 34. He was our star of the game, and he talked with Rick Barry.
What happens is when Barkley's in the middle of the paint, most of the time he's going to go for the block shot. I didn't figure on Jaminski going for a block shot, and every time Barkley went in the lane, Oakley was looking to push him out, so he was nowhere around. So I knew once I got there, if he wasn't around, that it was going to be an easy shot to the basket. And I can remember back in the days when I was having good games against Philly 2 years ago, those were the things I was doing. So I just went back to that, and it worked tonight.
Well, the Wilkins brothers did good tonight. You got a win here, and your brother Dominique won down in Atlanta. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Nick.
And possibly congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, who may be on the verge of a major upset in the opening round of the playoffs, taking on the Utah Jazz. Let's go back to Greg Papa and Jim Barnett with Golden State at the free throw line and the lead.
13-point favorites. Only the Pistons, Lakers, Cavaliers, and Phoenix Suns had better odds to win the entire NBA title. The Jazz are 7-1 favorites to win it all. The Warriors are 100-1. Well, the Warriors may pull off the big shocker on opening night of playoffs 89. As Manute Bol rips the board, they have a 7-point lead. It's knocked out, no foul called. Higgins is racing down the sideline. He checks in. They're going to take Bol off the floor. Don't want him in here to shoot free throws or handle the ball. And Don saving his timeouts late like this, just masterful. Don still has, with that timeout expired. Actually, no timeout taken there, obviously. They still has 3 to play with, and at 20. Sloan only has 1. 45 to play. Shot clock at 9. Richmond stepped out of bounds. Nightmare right there. The same play he made against Seattle in Game 1 of the home-and-home last Monday. Just stepped out of bounds. A bad habit he has fallen into, Jim.
Yes, and there's no need for it because he was wide open on that side. He really could have taken up the slack. He was looking, it looked like, appeared for a three-pointer.
Speaking of three-pointers, the Jazz maybe have to start bombing, and this is the guy they'd go to. Malone, a big board. Bol could not get up in time to block that. That's Malone's first dunk of the entire game.
And Malone threw the ball right back into the chest of Manute Bol with a little message.
And we, of course, will get back to that game in the closing seconds, or probably a timeout or two. We'll give you the final. But now let's go back to the second half of our game. Pete Van Wieren standing by. Go ahead, Pete.
Okay, thank you, Craig. We're here at halftime where the Lakers have a 13-point lead over Portland. And, John, they blew open the game early with an 11-point lead 5 minutes into it. It's been an even game since then, but that one spurt right now, the difference.
You know, that's the thing, Pete, that Portland was very concerned about, and that is not falling behind early and then having to try to play catch-up basketball. But what I've seen so far is I'm very impressed with Portland. They've changed their defenses. They've changed their lineup. They've opened the floor. They've changed different influences, and I'm very impressed with what Rick Adelman has done. And I think the 2 days of semi-training camp that he took with his ball club in San Diego has paid off.
Take a look now at some of the stats in this first half. The 64-51 lead done with a 51% shooting touch by the Lakers compared to the Blazers 39%, and that 39% is up from a 31% figure in the first quarter. The Lakers have out-rebounded Portland. The turnovers, only 5 for the Blazers, 8 for the Lakers, but the shooting percentages and the rebounding have been the difference. And, of course, the play of Magic Johnson, John.
Well, Pete, we have a play coming up here, a two-man game with Magic Johnson and Michael Cooper. It's a play that they've run very well all year long, and you see that Michael Thompson sets a pick and finally releases, and Magic drives and then penetrates, and it's a tough play to cover. And Michael Thompson sometimes releases early, sometimes he sets a pick like he did that time.
As you look at the scoring leaders in the first half, we can tell you that Magic Johnson is already 2/3 of the way to another triple-double. 17 points, 10 assists in that first half, and 4 rebounds. Drexler, the leading scorer for Portland, with 18. Well, the third quarter about to get underway. Blazers down by 13. I wanted to ask you, John, about a comment that Pat Riley made. He's a little bit upset at the scheduling in this opening series. There are 2 days off after this first game before they play a second game. And Pat was saying before the game tonight that he would much rather come back with only 1 day in between because it gives the other team a little bit too much time to prepare for that next game.
You know, Pete, when you're playing well, you know, you don't want a lot of rest, and Pat's team is playing very well. He'd like to keep this momentum going.
Well, we'll see if they can keep it going in the second half before we worry about game 2. Drexler to Duckworth. Duckworth working on Kareem. The basket will count. Kevin Duckworth scoring just his 4th point. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar committing his 3rd foul.
Here he is. This is Duckworth making a turn. A little pump fake. He goes up in the air. Kareem fouls him. He has enough strength to get the ball to the basket to score for a possible 3-point play.
That seemed to be something they were trying to do early in the game, but then Duckworth got in some foul trouble in a hurry. He looked like he wanted to work on Kareem a little bit early.
They did, Pete. He did get in foul trouble early, and Duckworth is a very good offensive player in the low post, as is Steve Johnson. So they have 2 inside people that are very effective. James Worthy was in foul trouble in the first half.
And he's back in there with the ball now. Drops home 2 more. He has 8 points. He has been shooting at a 63% clip over the last 10 games of the regular season.
You know, Pete, he poses so many problems for you. You'd like to double team him. You'd like to double team James, but he's so doggone quick that by the time he gets the ball, you can't get the other man in there.
He just got that last rebound. Got it over to Magic. Now Byron Scott looks inside. Down to Kareem. He's going to work on Duckworth. Puts up the sky hook and hits it. He's amazing. 42 years old, 20 years in this league.
It's like an IBM computer. He just puts the information in and it's automatic.
Drexler working against Scott. Got by Scott, but had the ball tipped away by Magic Johnson.
Well, so far you see Jabbar working inside against Kevin Duckworth. It's a one-on-one situation. There's no help. He has him by himself, and Kareem has made the shot. He moves to the right to set the man up. Tremendous release. And that was a no-rimmer. Hit nothing but the bottom of the net.
That last foul called against Byron Scott. Blazers put it in play. Porter puts up the shot and hits it.
That's what they need, Pete. They need outside jump shooting to complement that running game.
That's 10 points now for Terry Porter. Lakers still a comfortable lead of 12 points with 10:20 to go, third quarter. And it comes to Worthy. Worthy lost it, and the ball goes back to Portland.
And Pat Riley has made up his mind at halftime to test the Portland interior defense, and they've gone inside to Worthy and Kareem.
Drexler works against Scott. Outside to Porter again. Puts up another one from out there and hits.
Well, Pete, Kevin Duckworth put a big league pick on Byron Scott. I'm telling you, he really cracked him.
That's 12 now for Porter. Ten-point Laker lead. 9:50 remaining, third quarter. Jones guarding Kareem now. Byron Scott from three-point land. His third three-pointer of the night. He had 2 in the first half. 15 points now for Byron Scott. Kersey in the paint gets it to go. Jerome Kersey in double figures now with 11.
Well, they're shooting much better than they did in the opening first quarter. They need to make sure, Pete, that they keep Byron Scott from having those open jump shots. He stands outside to split the defense.
There's a rare miss by Magic. The rebound pulled away by the Blazers. Porter trying to drive by Kareem. Gets by him and makes 2 more. Porter with 6 in the quarter, 14 in the game. A 9-point Laker lead, and the Lakers will take a 20-second timeout here.
I like the way Portland's come out. They've come out under control. They're moving the basketball. They're doing a good job defensively inside against LA. The same zip that they had at the beginning of the game.
You see the score and you see the time remaining. We want to remind you that coming up Saturday on U.S. Olympic Gold, a TBS Sports exclusive, the U.S. Diving Championships. And then live, the Gatorade Track and Field Classic with Evelyn Ashford, Calvin Smith, and Sydney Marie. That's Saturday starting at 6:05 Eastern on TBS, cable's most popular network. Well, there's the man whose outside shooting touch has pulled Portland a little bit closer. Porter with 6 points in the quarter and 14 in the game now.
If he gets on a roll, Pete, he's an element of offense that Portland can certainly use because he has great range on his jump shot.
The ball inbounded to Green, back to Scott. Magic over to Worthy. Kareem working against Duckworth again. Puts the sky hook up from the baseline. This one wouldn't go. The rebound is pulled away by Portland. Jerome Kersey giving it off to Terry Porter. Portland has hit the last 4 field goals in this quarter. They've made 5 out of 6 in quarter number 3. Drexler over Scott. That wouldn't go. The rebound battled for. Loose ball foul called against Kevin Duckworth.
Kevin Duckworth is going to have to control himself. Pat Riley is trying to get him out of the ball game. He's gone after him with Kareem in the low post. That's his 4th foul. He doesn't want to get a technical foul or get ejected out of the game here.
Now the Lakers, who lead it by 9, trying to get that lead back to double figures. This time they've got Jones on Kareem.
They've changed their coverage.
Scott puts up another long one. Didn't have much time to get that shot off, but he's got 5 in the quarter, 17 in the game. Porter answers on the other end. He is now hit for 8 in the quarter and 16 in the game. Lakers by 9. 7:50 remaining in quarter number 3. Byron Scott has the hot hand for the Lakers. Terry Porter has the hot hand for Portland.
Byron Scott was hot at the end of the first half. He's continued that shooting, and he's the kind of guy that he can keep it up the entire game. He might go for 30 in the second half here.
Got a whistle as the ball got down to Drexler. And Byron Scott is called for his second.
You know, it's interesting, Pete. Both clubs have gone inside. LA's gone inside to Kareem and Worthy. Portland's gone inside to Drexler against Byron Scott.
Off it comes to Duckworth. Duckworth couldn't get the shot to go. Scott tipped it, but Kersey controls for Portland. He puts it up and in.
Well, that's how you get the offensive rebound. For young players watching, is you do exactly what Jerome Kersey did, is that you just go right back after the missed shot, and a lot of times it's right there for you.
Kersey with 13 points now, and there's a walk. And another Laker turnover on our Wendy's NBA scoreboard. There's the upset from the Salt Palace. The Golden State Warriors are 1 up on Utah.
Well, that's the first upset, Pete, so far in the playoffs, but it happens every year. Somebody does get an upset in an early game here.
Kersey. They're going to call a goaltend there. So give 2 more points to Jerome Kersey. He has 15.
LA does not have the same ball pressure defensively, Pete, that they had in the early going, and as a result, Portland is able to run just about any offensive set that they want.
And the Blazers are getting themselves back into this. Worthy has Drexler on it. Now the Lakers are going to call a timeout. They have turned the ball over 11 times now in the game. 6:29 to go in the 3rd quarter.
No fast breaks, Pete.
Discover card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back.
What it took the Utah Jazz 82 games to establish, the home court edge in the opening round of the playoffs has been taken away in one night by the Golden State Warriors. Chris Mullin with 41 points as Golden State takes the opening game. Let's go back to Pete Van Wieren and John McLeod.
Okay, thank you, Craig and John. Just as we were going to commercial, you were starting to make a point about one thing that Portland's been able to do to get themselves back in this game is control the tempo, because the Lakers have not been able to run their break in this quarter.
That's exactly right, Pete. LA has scored no points via the fast break, and this is exactly what Portland wants to do. And if they can do that and control the break, control LA's break, and do what they're doing offensively, which is now driving the ball to the basket, posting up Drexler, and getting second shots, this will be a heck of a game.
They just made a correction on the scoreboard up above for A while there, they had Portland within 5 points, 75-70, but our count showed 75-68, and that turned out to be the correct one. They just changed the scoreboard. Portland is down by 7. They can get it to 75-70 if that goes. It won't. And Kareem with a rebound. Off to Byron Scott. A near steal by Drexler and Porter, and they're going to call the foul on Clyde Drexler, and that is 4 on Drexler. So now Drexler and Duckworth each with 4 personals. We're midway through quarter number 3. Lakers lead it by 7. Good ball movement into Kareem. He's going to work on Duckworth. Wouldn't go for him. Duckworth pulls down the rebound. Drexler launching low. And he buries that one. He now has 20 points. And now it is a 5-point lead. Portland coming back from a 16-point deficit. That blows to within 5. Near steal by Kersey. Worthy had the ball tipped away, and a foul will be called.
That's on Kevin Duckworth. That's his fifth. That's his 5th foul. He has to come out of there now.
So Rick Adelman took a chance leaving him out there as long as he did. And now he's going to have to sit him down. He has 5 fouls, still a lot of time left, 5:30 in the 3rd.
Pete, that's the dilemma that you have as a coach. Do you leave a player in with this much time? You leave him in the game with 4 fouls, risk the possibility of the 5th, which happened, or leave him on the floor. Drexler's on the floor with 4 fouls, and I feel that Rick will go with him.
Worthy missing the first of 2 free throw attempts. Steve Johnson is checked into the game, replacing Duckworth for Portland. And Worthy now with 9 points. Lakers lead a 6-point lead.
Well, they now have things under control, Pete. It's not a fast tempo. It's a slower, controlled tempo, which is more to Portland's liking.
Worthy guarding Drexler. Jerome Kersey. Had it roll around. Drexler's tip wouldn't go. Rebound pulled away by the Lakers. AC Green gets it off to Magic. Magic trying to up that tempo a little bit. Lost the ball, but Michael Thompson got it back and put it home. He has 8. 4:49 to go, 3rd quarter. Lakers up by 8 now. Out to Porter, who's had a hot hand. He traveled. I thought he was going to take the jump shot from out there because he's hit about 3 of those.
I thought he was too, Pete. He changed his mind, decided to put the ball on the floor. Byron Scott ran back at him, forced him to make a decision.
As you can see, Portland has not turned the ball over much tonight. Only 6 turnovers. 4:25 to go in the 3rd. And we get a whistle from Lee Jones. This is going to be a technical foul, another illegal knee. Second call like that against Portland. And a technical foul will send Magic Johnson to the line. Well, Rick Adelman not happy about that call.
I think Jerome Kersey felt that he was in the correct position and not illegal. It's very difficult to explain, Pete, on TV what an illegal defense is, except he was down farther than he should have been. And, it's a situation where that's the second technical or the second illegal call for Portland.
Magic made the free throw. He has 18 points. That was his first point of his 3rd quarter. Now with 4:18 to go, it's now a 9-point Laker lead.
Here's the same 2-man game again. They ran it just previously. They're running it again. Michael Thompson's wide open.
This time, though, Caldwell Jones there for the block. And the Blazers on the transition, losing it right back to the Lakers. Byron Scott over Jones. 21 points for Byron Scott. And a timeout called by the Blazers. 3:50 remaining in the 3rd. Lakers have opened that lead back up to 11. Lakers have opened that lead back up to 11 points. In the first half, it was Magic Johnson that got the big basket to get the lead back up where the Lakers wanted it. In this quarter, though, John, it's been Byron Scott.
you know, Pete, he cannot be left open. He's the type of player that has, like Porter, great range on his jump shot. And if you leave him open, he can most of those shots. Here's a good example of it there. But the two-man game that Portland is running, that LA is running, is creating open shots on the other side for Byron Scott.
Sam Bowie is checked back in. He made an impact when he came in the first half. See if he does in this third quarter. They try to get the ball to him, and they turn it over. Magic Johnson has it. Lakers on the run. Down to Worthy. Worthy to Byron Scott. He'll bring it back outside. We have 3:20 remaining in the third. Lakers by 11. And they turn the ball over. Steve Johnson gets it. Portland has turned the ball over last 3 times they've had it, so Porter will put one up from outside. Missed the shot. Magic Johnson the rebound. He's closing in on another triple-triple.
Well, the Lakers have regained their first half form here, Pete, and they're beginning to run off the Portland misses. Portland's not going to the offensive board like they were previously. Consequently, LA starting to score again.
AC Green now with 11. Magic has 13 assists. He has 18 points. He has 5 rebounds.
Both teams have continued to go inside. Portland goes inside to Steve Johnson. LA goes inside to Michael Thompson.
And that's the 4th foul called against James Worthy. He sits down. Michael Cooper checks in. Drexler through the lane. Drexler now with 22. Two and a half minutes to go in the third. Lakers have the lead back to 11 points. Portland has closed at the 6 a couple of times. They did so in early the second quarter. Got it down to within 5 here in the third quarter. And away from the ball, a whistle from Terry Durham. Rick Adelman just called for a technical. Steve Johnson was called for the personal.
I don't know if Rick said anything. I have a feeling that someone else made the comment and Rick was assessed a technical foul. But you know, Pete, Pat Riley really does a good job. He knows he has a hot man in Byron Scott. In the first part of that play, although Michael Thompson wound up with a shot, was for Byron Scott. He recognizes he has a hot hand. He's going to him.
Cooper gets it into Magic. 84-72. Lakers by 12. Underneath to Michael Thompson. 10 points for Thompson. A 14-point lead for the Lakers.
Well, they're really testing Portland's inside defense. Early with Kareem, now with Michael Thompson. And their defense, LA's defense, is much more active than it was in the first part of the third quarter.
And an offensive foul called. Terry Porter's second. LA on an 11-2 run right here, and this is the kind of thing they do so well. Well, now a technical foul's been called against Kersey. So Magic Johnson will go back and shoot another tee. Magic has only missed once from the line tonight. He now has 20 points.
Okay, we have Terry Porter driving the ball to the basket here. The defender was moving, but he did drop his shoulder into the defender. That's 3 technical fouls in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the play. One was an illegal defense, but it's a situation, Pete, where Portland has to be able to control themselves and to be able to take the calls. Certainly they're not to their liking, but that's basketball, and you have to continue to play here.
On our scoreboard, as you see, Atlanta a winner tonight. The New York Knicks a winner tonight. Opening games of those series, and there's the upset winner, Golden State, winning in Utah. Here it is now a 15-point Laker lead. They've opened up their biggest lead of the night just a couple of minutes after Portland had cut it down to a 5-point game. Magic Had the ball stripped away, but it comes over to Michael Thompson. He always seems to be in the right place, doesn't he?
He is, and
he's got 12.
He's had a tremendous third quarter here. Magic always finds him.
Bowie now has 7. Lakers by 15, a little over a minute to go in the third. Cooper trying one from three-point land. It wouldn't go. And a loose ball foul is going to be called.
Steve Johnson.
Going to be called on Steve Johnson. He can't believe that call. It's his second. And Michael Thompson will go to the line. It's been like 2 different games in this third quarter alone, John. Portland controlling the tempo, really controlling the game for the first 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter. But they've really let it get away from them these last 2 or 3 minutes.
They have, and I think part of it is the result of L.A. jacking their defense up, their level of play from a defensive standpoint, taking away a lot of easy shots that Portland had early in the quarter.
Now a 16-point Laker lead. You see the time left in the third. Drexler, after pumping Cooper, puts up the shot, misses it, and Cooper gets the rebound.
See, Pete, there are no easy shots now. Portland is not getting any easy shots and haven't had any easy shots in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Magic bombs one from three-point territory. He now has 23 points, and the Lakers' lead is a 19-point lead. With just over 40 seconds to go underneath to Kersey for 2. Kersey 8 in the quarter, 17 in the game.
That was a great inside play by Jerome Kersey. Magic tried to fight over the top. He just moved him right out of there. But, you know, Pete, previously we just saw the versatility of Magic Johnson. A three-point play, and the play before that he was inside and post-up before he kicked it off to Michael Thompson. So he's an inside player and an outside player and a driver.
Down to 2 seconds on the shot clock. Magic put it up, wouldn't go for him. Bowie the rebound off to Porter. Porter gets it to Drexler. Drexler has the shot blocked by Cooper. Here come the Lakers on the run. Magic from three-point land again. This one a little short. Magic gets it back, dishing it off to Byron Scott. Scott trying to beat the buzzer. Got fouled.
Pete, when you have a quarterback like Magic Johnson, it makes the game a great deal easier. He was. Well, this is an example now of Magic's versatility. The play before this, he was inside in the post-up. Now he steps outside at 24 feet, nothing but the bottom of the net. But as I was saying, Pete, his versatility here is shown in the last 30 seconds of the game. He took the 24-second shot clock down, reduced the number of times.
He's hobbling, though, as he leaves the court, favoring that right leg a little bit. Orlando Woolridge checking in.
They can't afford to have Magic Johnson out for too long.
Byron Scott makes them both. He has 23 points in the ball game. And that one almost went, but the Lakers have turned it up a notch here in the third quarter. 95-76 after 3. Could be a very key moment for the Lakers in this early playoff round.
Well, Magic drove the ball, Pete, and he drove it to shoot shot a little soft hook shot. I don't know if he stepped on somebody's foot here. We're going to see. Well, he did step on somebody's foot. He stepped on Kersey's right foot and may have turned his ankle a little bit.
Here we go.
So the Lakers, who have opened up a 95-76 lead, will start the fourth quarter with Magic on the bench, holding onto that right knee. Let's take a look at the Minute Maid Orange soft drink stats. Look at that Lakers shooting percentage now, up to 58%. The rebounding advantage still there, too.
You bet. They've continued to shoot the ball very well. Portland's a little half-court trap to try to change things.
Byron Scott hasn't cooled off a bit, has he?
That didn't change Byron Scott for sure.
He now has 26 points.
And that's a disadvantage when you trap. You leave the jump shooters open in the corner. He was wide open, and he found it.
Another different look out there by the Blazers. Adrian Branch in the game for the first time tonight.
Both teams opened up in a different defense in the fourth quarter than what they had used the entire third quarter.
AC Green gets it over to Orlando Woolridge. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Foul against Sam Bowie.
And Bowie committing his second.
First team foul. Orlando Woolridge.
They don't really appear to be too concerned about Magic over there. It doesn't look like it's anything real serious with that knee, but anytime a knee or an ankle is involved, you always kind of worry about it.
You know, I think if it were real serious, they would have taken him to the locker room. And, you know, I'm surprised that more people aren't injured this way, as many guys drive the ball to the basket and wind up stepping on other people's feet.
Danny Young brings it down, gives it over to Adrian Branch. Branch puts up the shot, won't go for him. He'll go to the line.
Well, L.A. will have to be careful with the Branch. He has tremendous offensive ability, and you saw his ability to drive the ball and draw the foul.
Adrian Branch will go to the line. He averaged 7 points a game this year. 73% free throw shooter. Member of the '87 championship Laker team. But it's going to be a long uphill battle for the Blazers here tonight. Branch with his first 2 points. And then this opening minute of fourth quarter play. Lakers lead it by 19. Over to Woolridge. Woolridge working against Branch. Bowie with a block. It comes off to Adrian Branch. Branch ahead to Drexler, who slams it home.
Well, that was a great drive by Woolridge, a great pass by Branch.
24 now for Clyde Drexler. Lakers by 17. Cooper working against Young. Scott traveled.
Well, Magic's coming back. I
Guess it wasn't too serious.
I didn't think it would be too long before Pat had him back in there.
James Worthy also back in along with Magic. Well, no, he's not going back in right now. He started in, then sat down. Branch puts up the jumper. Michael Thompson. Thompson has 15. Lakers lead a 19-point lead again.
He's had a great second half.
So many weapons on this Laker team. Bowie playing a very good game when you consider he's only played once in about the last 3 weeks and hasn't been able to even practice very often.
Sam's a very good basketball player, and when he gets in great condition, you see a totally different player.
Woolridge couldn't get it to go. Anderson pulls it away for the Blazers. 101-84. Blazers trailing the Lakers by 17. Underneath to Drexler for 2 more.
Great pass by Sam Bowie. He has jump shooting ability at the top of the key. He also has excellent passing ability, and we saw it right there, Pete.
Well, the Lakers don't want Portland to get back in it like they have tried to do twice before tonight, so Pat Riley's going to call a timeout right here.
Boston game from 1976 with Tom Havlicek shooting the shot here. This was, in my opinion, the greatest game I've ever seen. Curtis Perry throwing the ball to Garfield Hurd, and he made a 2-point shot that today probably would have been 3, and tied it up and put it into triple overtime. Just a tremendous ball game. It's still talked about today.
You had a good seat that night, too, right on the bench of the Phoenix Suns.
Well, it was a wild seat and a hot seat.
And by the way, Phoenix will be the second half of our doubleheader tomorrow night. They open it up against Denver, preceded by Detroit and Boston right here on the Superstation. And here we go with 9:15 to go. Magic is back. He has 25. Lakers by 17.
He's still rubbing his knee, but the way he made that move to the basket, I don't think there's anything serious.
Gonna have a jump ball. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in for Michael Thompson.
And Michael Thompson gave them a great lift. Pat took Kareem out early in the third and inserted Michael Thompson. He gave them a tremendous shot in the arm here offensively.
Blazers control. Anderson's going to try to get hot from out there. He can shoot from out there. Richard Anderson can.
He can shoot out there early in the warm-ups. He spent a lot of time before the game, Pete, shooting at that range, at that particular spot.
His first 3-pointer of the night. He has 5 in the game. But the Lakers lead still a comfortable 14-point advantage.
Michael Cooper called for the offensive foul, his third. And that gives it back to the Blazers. Pat Riley, you saw looking a little concerned. This has happened to the Lakers about 3 times in this game. They've opened up a lead, 14 to 20 points, and they've let Portland come right back. And here they come again.
That's a good point, Pete. And now Bowie is shooting the ball outside again. Kareem is going to have to go out there and cover him outside, although I know he doesn't want to.
Down to a 12-point lead now. Kareem working on Bowie. And Sam will be called for the foul, his third. Magic's back in there, John, but he's not moving real well. He's still showing a little bit of favoritism to that leg.
Pete, it looks like he's a little bit sore, but Magic has the ability to recover very, very quickly, and I'm sure he wouldn't be on the floor unless he felt okay. But they have Worthy back, Kareem is back, Magic is back. So and now Byron Scott is coming back on the floor for Woolridge.
Portland's hit 6 of 7 from the field in this fourth quarter. Pulling back to within 12 points. Kareem trying to get into double figures. Does. Has 10 points on the night. Lakers by 13. Adrian Branch, who saw no playing time in the first half, working against Cooper, puts the jumper up along the baseline. Won't go for him. Worthy pulls away the rebound. Kareem gets it across the timeline. Over to Byron Scott, back out to Magic.
I had the feeling, Pete, that Kareem wanted to take the ball. He wanted to drive that one all the way and jam it. He just didn't see an opening.
Worthy. Only 2 seconds left to shoot it. Worthy beats the clock with a shot, but couldn't get the shot to drop. Anderson comes away with it. 7.5 minutes remaining. Over to Clyde Drexler, underneath to Anderson, off the glass, wouldn't go for him, and the rebound pulled away by Byron Scott. Off to Magic Johnson. Now Magic begins his move underneath Worthy. James Worthy now with 11. Magic got it to him beautifully. A 15-point lead.
That was a great pass. You know, Pete, Magic really poses problems because not only of his outside shooting, but his ability to drive. And you saw right then a good example of kicking it to the open man, Worthy.
Branch puts it up over Cooper. That wouldn't go. Byron Scott another rebound. He's pulled down 2 in a row now for the Lakers. Off to Worthy. He's all alone. An easy 2, and the Lakers on one of their spurts again. And Portland's going to call a timeout. Tonight's Polaroid Picture Perfect Play is brought to you by Polaroid. Before it's a memory, it's a Polaroid. And here's a picture that has been snapped who knows how many times, John.
Well, it's his automatic. He bumps the defender to the right, turns around, and you saw, Pete, the ball went in the bottom of the net without touching the rim. But as I say, it's like an IBM computer.
And look at that.
The information in.
Kareem has more playoff experience than the Rockets, the Cavs. These are teams now, not individual players.
Well, I think that statistic indicates it's a testimony to his longevity in the league.
Bowie going up for the shot, got fouled.
And you know, Pete, the impressive thing to me about Jabbar is that he still enjoys playing. Pat Riley told me the other day that he practiced 2.5 hours Wednesday, 2.5 hours Tuesday, and came back and practiced hard for 2 hours on Thursday. So this is the man who has not only played the game well, but has loved the game.
Sam Bowie gone to the line as Kareem has picked up his 4th. Kareem making that farewell tour of the NBA this year. I saw an overall list put out of all the different gifts given him by teams from around the league. I'll tell you what. I guess when you last 20 years in any professional sport, you deserve that. But he really got some beautiful, beautiful gifts.
He's I think he's been recognized, and people appreciate what he's done for the NBA. He's been a great player in the league, and I think a great representative also.
Bowie now with 13 points. And Kareem trying to get 2 more. Missed that one. Kersey pulls it away. 15-point Laker lead. 6 minutes, a little over 6 minutes remaining in the game. Portland trying to make a little run here. Drexler goes up and gets 2 more. He has 28 in the game. The
He is now 13 by the Lakers. Kareem got fouled by Boyd. That's 4 on Sam. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will go to the line.
Sam has done a pretty good job defensively, but Kareem set him up the last 2 times. He's moved him out of position, been able to reverse pivot on him. And I noticed down here a while ago, Pete, when Bowie was outside attempting to shoot the shot, that Kareem had made the attempt. He was out at 24 feet guarding Bowie. And I think that's an indication, too, of just Kareem's willingness to go ahead and do the things necessary to win. He's out on him again now.
Kareem now has 11 points, a 14-point Laker lead. Young thinking about it from 3-point before he got the shot away, a whistle. And Byron Scott called for the foul. This program authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Kersey left uncovered underneath, picks up 2 more. He's got 19. Well, down to 12 points again.
Pete, they just keep hanging around. That's not a good sign for LA. They can't totally knock them out, and Portland keeps bouncing back.
Worthy gets the turnaround jumper to fall. He's got 15.
One thing LA has been able to do consistently tonight is they have gone inside the entire game and scored at will.
Drexler's shot a little strong. Rebound pulled away by Kareem. Got it over to Byron Scott. Scott lost it. It goes back to Portland. Kareem sits down. Michael Thompson comes back in. Bowie. Has Thompson on him now. Magic called for his second. Team foul number 4. 4:40 to go. Final quarter. Lakers 111-97 over Portland. Young with Cooper at it. Way off with the shot, but Bowie there to follow. He's had a good game for somebody that hasn't been able to practice or play much in 3 weeks.
Been very impressive, Pete. He's
15 points.
Very impressive. Shot blocking ability, defending ability.
Pulled down some rebounds as well. 111-99. Lakers by 12. Magic turning it up 1 notch. Worthy puts it home. Worthy has 17.
Magic looks like he's still limping. I don't think it's a serious thing, Pete, but it didn't seem to bother him on that drive to the basket.
Drexler through all sorts of traffic for 2 more, and he's got 30 on the night. They keep Portland within 12. Still time, 3:50. And now you're going to see Magic use some of that time, John.
He feels he's in a position to be able to take Terry Porter, a smaller man, one-on-one, and that's exactly what he's doing here.
Couldn't get the shot to go, though, and Porter comes away with a rebound. Blazers can get to within 10 now. Porter trying to hit Kersey underneath. Somehow came out of that mess with the ball still in his possession. Now Kersey, turnaround jumper over Johnson is good. Jerome Kersey now has 21. It's down to a 10-point lead. Just over 3 minutes to go. Lakers have built it up to 22 at one point.
This is a play for James Worthy in the low post. We'll see what happens. They took him inside. He's had great success here in this ball game.
Worthy.
The clock is running down. They're going to need to shoot the ball quickly here.
Byron Scott's been the man with a hot hand. 3 more for Byron Scott. That's 5 3-pointers tonight for Byron. 15 points from Byron Scott on 3-pointers alone. 29 in the game. Lakers by 13, and when we keep saying the Lakers can turn it up a notch, this is the kind of thing we're talking about, John. The last 3-pointer just hit by Byron Scott with time almost out on that 24-second clock.
Well, you know, they kept their poise, and they drove the ball and found the open man. Byron Scott is very good at spotting up in the open corner, and they find him. And you see this quote here attributed to Pat Riley, and I think it's very true that the Lakers my feeling, Pete, is that their commitment to winning is deeper than any team I've seen, and they have players like Kareem and Magic that fulfill exactly what Pat Riley is talking about here.
Does the media worry about it a little too much when the Lakers have a little 2 or 3 or 4 game spell during the course of the regular season where they don't play well? It's awfully difficult to maintain a certain level of intensity in an 82 game schedule.
It is, and I think the media is a little bit over concerned or possibly jumps to conclusions about the Lakers, but they have been very consistent. They won 56 games this year, won the division again for the 8th straight time, and they're strong at every position.
And they're on their way right now to a first game victory in this best-of-5 series, up by 13, but there's still time for Portland to make a game of it. They need to get somebody with a hot hand, though. And there's Byron Scott again. He has pulled down about 4 rebounds in this second half.
Byron Scott has grown as a basketball player. When he first came to the league, he was basically a jump shooter. Now he's able to drive the ball. His defense has improved.
Inside to Worthy, wouldn't go, but there's Michael Thompson to follow, get the basket.
That's Duckworth's sixth foul.
Duckworth, who just checked back into the lineup, is going to have to take a seat right away. Duckworth fouls out with just 5 points. 13 points below his regular season average.
I like the way LA's taken the ball inside to Kareem, to Worthy, and to Michael Thompson, but specifically to James Worthy, who, as I said earlier in the game, is good with his back to the basket, Pete, as anybody in the NBA.
And they worked on Duckworth from the moment he picked up his 3rd personal early in that second quarter.
I think that's an indication of the merit that or the recognition that Pat Riley gives this young player from Portland. He wants him out of the game and knows that if Duckworth is allowed to stay in the game with his offensive ability, that he can create problems. So it's a tribute in a way to Kevin Duckworth. And Kevin Duckworth is a very good player.
Michael Thompson now has 18 points. The Lakers lead a 16-point lead. Young will try one from out in 3-point land. Can't get it to go. Another Byron Scott rebound.
When you look at guard tandems in the NBA, when you look at Byron Scott and Magic Johnson, I don't know how you can find 2 better guards. They complement each other.
3 more for Magic. 28 points on the night. Lakers have built the lead back to 19. Tony Campbell, who just checked in for the Lakers, pulled away that rebound. Well, it's all over but the shouting now here at the Forum. The Lakers are going to win this opening game of the best-of-5 series. A good effort by the Blazers, but every time Portland got to within a half-dozen points or so, the Lakers would put on one of their patented surges, as they're in the midst of right here, putting it away.
Well, we just saw another example of Magic's versatility, his inside post-up play.
Kersey will get 2 more. He has 23 on the night. 124-105. Lakers by 19. Getting down close to the 1-minute mark.
You know, Pete, even though Portland is going to lose this game, I like the things that Rick Adelman tried to do. He changed style. As I said, he took his team for some extra work. They worked on their half-court games. They used a little trap. They used a small lineup. They used a big lineup. So he did just about everything that he could possibly do.
Well, now he's going to have 2 days to prepare for game 2 against the Lakers. What will he need to do to keep Portland a little closer?
Well, I think one of the things he'll have to do is to make sure that they do a better job of protecting the basketball. It can't affect what happens on layups, of course, but I think we'll see a team that runs their offense even a little bit better, and perhaps they'll be able to defend some of LA's inside play a little bit better.
Magic still in there, got the ball to Worthy. He walked. We've only got 27 seconds remaining. James Worthy will sit down. David Rivers in for Magic Johnson. David Rivers getting his first taste of what it's like to play in a playoff game, and Magic Johnson getting his maybe 1,000th taste of a standing ovation here at the Forum.
You know, I've been in Rick's shoes many times playing LA in the first game of the series, and they really hone in on the opponent, Pete. They want that first game, and they really focus on that first opponent.
Jerome Kersey whistled for his 3rd foul. So Pat Riley is going to win his 88th playoff game. Just 11 away from the all-time leader, Red Auerbach. You realize if the Lakers go all the way again this year, that Red will be in second place to that man, Pat Riley?
Pat Riley has done an outstanding job. I don't think he's gotten the credit that he deserves. Not everybody, but a lot of people seem to think that he has a lot of talent and he should win. But coaching a talented team is not an easy thing to do, and he's motivated these players, and he has them committed to winning. And Pat Riley is an outstanding coach.
Well, last year it was the guaranteed title. This year it's win one for Kareem. I guess next year it'll be, let's see if they can win one without Kareem. He always has a goal in mind at the start of every year.
Well, they're a very motivated team, and as I said previously too, Pete, people think that the LA Lakers are only a running team, but they're a great deal more than that. They're a running team that behind that run has a great half-court game with Worthy, Magic, Kareem, and Scott. And defensively, they rotate very well. They apply tremendous pressure, and they are a solid team. I don't see any weaknesses in this ball club.
Percy making one of two. Again tomorrow night, another NBA playoff doubleheader. First round action between Boston and Detroit, followed by Denver and Phoenix, and all that followed by inside the NBA. Game one in both of those series, followed with Fred Hickman's Inside the NBA program tomorrow night. Rivers brings it across for the Lakers. Campbell will put one up, and he'll get 2 points. So add Tony Campbell's name to the list of those who have scored for the Lakers tonight. And the Lakers wind up winning it by 20. Magic Johnson issued the challenge at the outset of the game. He said, come and get us. The Blazers tried, but couldn't do it tonight. 128-108, our final. We'll be back.
For the Gatorade Slam Dunk. Tonight's Slam Dunk by Jerry Reynolds.
And we're beginning to fill in the blanks. Superstation TBS, your ticket to the NBA playoffs. The Portland Trail Blazers may not have been a match for the Los Angeles Lakers, but it was a far different story in the other Western Conference series, which opened tonight in Utah. The Jazz heavily favored over the Golden State Warriors. However, the tone of the game set in the opening quarter when Karl Malone was held scoreless. Larry Smith, a great job defensively. He blocked 3 of the mailman shots in the first period alone. Golden State blocked 14 shots on the night. Meanwhile, they were not at all intimidated by Utah's top-ranked defense. Chris Mullin strips the ball away. Then Mark Eaton hustling down court, but Mullin puts the shot right over him for the basket. Mullin had 41 points in the game, and afterwards he told Hot Rod Hundley that he was not at all bothered by the 7'4" Mark Eaton.
You know, I think anytime you have a player like Manute or like Mark Eaton, in practice, you kind of get used to it. You know, you go up there every time, you get your shot blocked all the time. It gets a little frustrating. During the course of the season, Mark has dictated the whole game with us taking it to the hole. I think we've learned we want to take it in and try and kick it out. And like I said, tonight we were fortunate enough to make our outside shots. And hopefully we can keep on doing that.
Meanwhile, Woody Allen was at the Garden in New York to see the Knicks take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Gerald Wilkins driving right down the middle past Charles Barkley. What a night for Gerald Wilkins. 16 out of 21 from the field, 34 points as the Knicks take the opening game 102-96. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, the Milwaukee Bucks played even for 3 quarters, but here's the play of the game. Less than a minute to play. Doc Rivers with a 3-pointer from the corner put the game out of reach as the Hawks win it by 8, 100-28. Dominique Wilkins had 28 in that game. The playoffs continue tomorrow night on Superstation TBS, another doubleheader. Boston against Detroit. Boston will be playing without Larry Bird. He stayed home, did not make the trip today. And Denver against Phoenix. Now back to Pete Van Weeren and John McLeod for the player of the game in the second half of our doubleheader, LA and Portland.
There's the final score from the Great Western Forum, 128-108, Lakers over the Trailblazers. And you talk about a dominant team of a decade. How about this? The Lakers have not lost a playoff game in the opening round since 1983. They now lead Portland 1-0. Utah leads Golden State leads Utah, rather. That was the upset tonight in Utah, 1-0. And tomorrow, Seattle and Houston and the Phoenix Denver series get underway. But it's such a dominant team, especially in these first rounds. That's just an amazing streak, John, not having lost a first-round game since way back in '83.
Well, I think it indicates just how powerful this ball club is. You can't do that, Pete, unless you are very, very talented and obviously very well coached by Pat Riley. But we saw throughout this game different things that they did. The two-man games, the post-up of Worthy, the post-up of Magic, finding Byron Scott, defending Portland, taking away their offensive game. And they have that ability.
So many heroes tonight for the Lakers, but our Miller Lite player of the game is going to be Magic Johnson, who is the cog around which this wheel works. He had 30 points. He had 16 assists. He had 7 rebounds. Whenever the Lakers needed to turn it up a notch, he was the guy that got it done. And on behalf of Miller Lite, Superstation TBS proud to donate $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in his name. Tomorrow night, NBA doubleheader action. Game 1, Boston and Detroit, first game of their series. Game 2, Denver and Phoenix, first game of their series. All followed by Inside the NBA. John McLeod enjoyed it.
Thank you, Pete. I enjoyed it too.
You.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being with us, folks. So long, everyone.